This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. We in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 4 in the National Football League is going to be wrapped up here on this program. It's Tuesday, which means we've got a Monday night showcase to attend to. And man, was this one of the most surprising Monday night showcases of the season thus far, or what? And, I don't know what I was expecting in this game. I'm somewhat speechless, but it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. And so, first, before I jump into this, and I'm gonna give you a couple of disclaimers before I jump into this Monday night breakdown. But let me first give a big shout out to my man Teddy Ted. And if you haven't checked his channel out, please do so. Teddy Ted does picks on his show. And I was able to check his picks out last week. And the man went 5-0 the week before in week number 3. So he was already hot. So Teddy Ted makes the bold prediction, and for some of you, maybe you saw this one coming. I don't think you saw 41-14 coming, but maybe some of you saw this coming. Saw a beatdown or a thrashing coming the Patriots' way, but I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see it coming. And it was funny because Teddy Ted made the selection on his show of the Chiefs before I seen anybody else give that up. And it was funny, I told Teddy Ted, I said, hey man, I actually thought about doing it. I'm joking, man. I didn't think about doing that, man. You on your own on that one, partner. And he said, hey man, I just got to feel it. And Teddy Ted was right. Teddy Ted is hot right now, man. He's hot, homeboy. So let me give Teddy Ted some love for picking that winner, man, for giving out that gem. And he's hot right now. So you looking for some for a guy with a hot hand right now, man. Teddy Ted might be your man. Teddy Ted might be your man. Big shout out to Teddy Ted for knocking that one out of the park. Now, with that out of the way, and for those of you looking for a series by series breakdown, I'm not doing that for this game because I want to talk about how I was feeling as I watched this game progress, and the thought process that I had, and how I felt as I was watching this debacle. Okay, so game starts, and I say I take in the scenery because Kansas City is one of those places. If you're the Chiefs and you're a Chiefs fan, you love it, man. It's just Arrowhead is just one of those stadiums. For me, it brings back a lot of great memories because one of my favorite players to watch growing up was Derek Thomas. So Arrowhead Arrowhead has a little bit of nostalgia, and I'm a very nostalgic guy. So Arrowhead holds a little bit of nostalgia for me. And to see the Chiefs on national television, something that over the last 5 years or so, they haven't been prevalent on national television. Of late, they've started to make that come back and start to be back on the national stage. You know how the NFL has now went to, a setup where everyone's getting a chance to be displayed on national television. They don't want it to be how it was before, where you had to earn your way on to national television, where you can be the Cincinnati Bengals and not be on national television for 7-8 years in a row because you're a bad football team for such a long time. So it's good to see the Kansas City Chiefs on national television and just take in the scenery that is Arrowhead, the sea of red and the crowd noise, and it's just a great aura about that stadium. And I get chills when I see that stadium and I see all the fans getting excited, and you hear the noise and you can barely hear people talking. It's refreshing. For me, I can't speak for anybody else. And I'm not even a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So to see that, I just took it in at the beginning. They just everybody stopped talking, and that's what the announcers did. And just take in the scenery. And I did that. And then I said, okay, time for football, time for the Kansas City Chiefs to get the business. This is what I was saying in my head. I said, all right, Patriots are gonna come out, and you know what? When people are talking about it, I've been talking about the Patriots like a dog, and I've been talking about them this way for the last 2 years because I said Brady's not the same. I said, am I the only one who sees this? Am I the only one that sees that Brady's not the same? I watched that Raiders game in week number 3. I know you watched it too. Come on now. You can't tell me that this is the Patriots team that you were expecting this year. I know after the arms race that the Patriots and the Broncos put forth in the offseason, there's no way that you expected the Patriots to come out here and be anything less than one of the best teams in the league, especially in the AFC at least. If nothing else, at least in the AFC. And to see them come out and get manhandled in week 1 by the Patriots, which, you know what, that's family business. I stayed out of that. I said, hey, that's your family business, not mine. I'm staying out of that. That can happen when you mess with family members. I said, okay, I let that one slide and roll right down my back. What did they do the next week? They dismantled the Vikings on the road. I said, that's more like it. That's more like it. So now I said, okay, business as usual. Then they go home for their home opener. I said, man, the Raiders are in trouble. The Raiders showed up and gave those boys everything they could handle and then some. They barely squeaked out of there with a W. So I said, wait a minute, what is that all about? Then you come to Monday, I said, all right, people have been, so see, after that game, people started wondering. I had already been questioning these guys since last year. I talked about Brady in that AFC Championship game versus Denver, and I said, look, man, Brady's not the same. He's missing open receivers. Guys are running free. And yeah, I knew the weapons weren't always at the level that you would like them to be, but hey, Brady has always had subpar weapons throughout his career. That's nothing new. He's always been able to make it work, whatever the case may be. Whatever they've given him, he's made it functional. So I didn't want to hear any excuses. So to see Julian Edelman running free in that AFC Championship game and Brady just not be able to hit him, to see Danny Amendola running free and to see Brady just miss him, I said, man, that's not Tom Terrific. That's some other dude, man. I don't know that guy. So I've been saying that, hey, look, man, it's slowly coming to an end, and you know when you see it. You know when you see it. And so I'm still in denial because it's Brady and Belichick, man. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? So to watch this game, this is how I felt watching this game. So let's fast forward back to Monday night. So the game starts, and I said, all right, Kansas City about to get this work, man, because everybody's been talking about Brady and this Patriots team and how they don't look the same, and everybody's finally catching on to what I've been saying for the longest time. But I said, this is the type of game where Brady and Belichick come out and they shut everybody up. And that's why I thought to myself, because I actually gave it some thought for a second, man, Kansas City, Monday night. But I said to myself before the season started, Kansas City's not going to be a good team. So I had that in the back of my mind, and I said, this is the game Brady and Belichick show up and shut all the doubters up. All the naysayers, all the guys that are talking about this team, and all people in general that say, hey, yeah, they're getting old, man. They starting to not have that same luster. They starting to lose it in New England. So I said, this is the night they show up, put up about 38, 40 points, en route to a 38-17 victory. This is one of those type of nights. It was going to be one of those type of nights for somebody, just not the team that I was expecting. So the game starts, and the Chiefs get the ball first. Man, they put together a little bit of drive, but they got to punt. Patriots get the football. I said, here we go. All right, Tom about to give these boys some work. You ready? 3 and out. Okay. I said, yeah, crowd is involved. A little bit of energy early on in the game. That can happen. Nothing. Then the Chiefs get the football, move it right down the field. Jamal Charles back, he missed week 3 game against the Denver Broncos. Against the Miami Dolphins. I said, okay. Nice to see him back. He gets in the end zone, 7-0. I said, cool. All right. That can happen. I said, hey, all that means is the Chiefs say, hey, we're not laying down for nobody. We don't care if it's the New England Patriots. We're not laying down for nobody in this game. We at home. Hey, I can respect that, man. I respect that. I want this to be a good game. After all the blowouts that we've seen on primetime television this year, I want this to be a good game. That's what I'm talking about, Kansas City. Way to show up. And then the Patriots get the football and they do nothing again. And it's like a 3 and out again. I'm like, that's strange. Then the Chiefs get the football back and they march right back down the field and they score another touchdown. I said, wait a minute. Did you just score another touchdown? Is it 14-0? They said, yeah, we just did that. I said, okay, all right, it's 14. All right, New England, let's go. They're not playing with you tonight. That's what they're not playing. They're not laying down. They want this one. You got to go take this one. And Tom said, all right, so they think we're not going to take this one? Let's go. 3 and out. What? 3 and out? Okay. All right. Well, defense about to step up, right? Nah, not tonight. Field goal for Kansas City. Now it's 17-0. I'm like, is this really happening? Is this happening on primetime television in front of the whole world? 17-0? Like, this is total domination right now. Is this happening? And my man, your man, everybody's favorite superhero, Captain checked out. He said, he looked me right in my eyes, and he took that bottom lip mouthpiece out of his mouth. He said, yeah, this is really happening tonight, Louie T. This is happening. And he put the mouthpiece back in, pushed it down with his tongue, called another play, got the football, took those boys down the field. I said, man, this is really... Captain Checkdown just said this is happening tonight. And it was happening. And he was, 20 of 26, 200 and some change. Flawless execution on the night. Yeah, it was going down. Now Davis, over 100 yards rushing, about $107 on about 16 carries. Jamal Charles, almost over 100 yards himself. 3 touchdowns in the game. Oh, yeah, they were serious. They weren't playing. It's 17-0. I said, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Somebody's in trouble tonight. I said, all right, second half, different ball game. Bill Belichick, he's going to lay into these boys at halftime. Tom is going to go in, throw his helmet around, fuss at a few guys. They're going to come out. They're going to be inspired in the second half. And the Chiefs went down the field and made it 24-0. I said, hey, man. This is about to turn into a full-fledged ass whooping. Are you going to wake up, New England? They say, hey, no, we good. They go down the field and they finally show some life. Brandon LaFell, touchdown. It's 24-7. I said, okay, here comes that. Look, can't turn it off now. Can't turn it off now. You want to, can't turn it off. I remember this same Patriots team was left for dead last year against Denver on Sunday night. If you went to bed, you woke up the next morning, you got a surprise. So I said, nah, it's one of those type of games, huh? And Kansas City said, nah, it's not that type of party, man. They went right back down the field, scored another touchdown, made it 31-7. And then they picked Brady off, and I said, okay, yeah, nah, y'all not playing tonight, man. This is going down. And guess who's going down? The Patriots are going down. They're going down hard. And I looked into Tom Brady's eyes. And what I saw was a defeated man. I've never seen Tom Brady look like. Even when Tom Brady has been beaten before, I've never seen. Tom Brady usually has fire in his eyes. Like, oh yeah, we about to get these. Even if they're losing, the fire is there like, yeah, we about to get these boys, man. And if I don't get them, I'm going to get my team for not getting them. I looked in Tom's eyes, and there was a look of, hey man, I don't know if I can fix this. My offensive line stinks, and I look around at these receivers, and nobody's making plays. I don't know if I can will these guys to victory anymore. I don't know if I can throw guys open anymore. I don't know. I don't have the time. The time that we're used to. Let me show you what the time that we're used to does. This is what time does. Time sits back, pass the ball, read 1, read 2, read 3, read 4, read 1. Oh, you open. All right, let me hit you. That's not happening no more, man. Those days are over. Those days are gone. And you know why? Because that offensive line isn't the same, man. Those receivers, they're not the same, man. You got 1 or 2 guys that, and maybe this could change over time. Maybe this could change over time. But right now, that's not the case, man. Nobody's afraid of what you're putting out on the field. In fact, they're disrespecting you right now. They're disrespecting you and what you're putting on the field. And I feel like this is the New England Patriots Patriot way catching up with them, you know? And we start with that interior pressure right now. You start with guys not getting it done in the interior. And yes, it's not like your tackles are stymieing outside linebackers and defensive ends and not allowing them to get to Tom Brady either. But it makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to get to Tom Brady when I can collapse the pocket and there's nowhere for him to step up and guys can just go around the edge. Or guys, it's a two-way go. When you don't know if the guys in the middle are going to protect or not, it's a two-way go as an outside linebacker or a defensive end. Now I can go inside and get to Brady. I can go outside and get to Brady. Whereas before, if the interior of the line did their job, Brady can step up. So you can't go around because all they're going to do is push you around. So as a tackle, you know, I got this. All I got to do is take care of the inside. If you want to go around, go ahead. I dare you. I just push you around and Tom will step up in the pocket. When you want to trade Logan Mankins at the beginning of the season like you got it like that, that's that Patriot way stuff. That's the stuff I'm talking about right there. Why? Do you have it that way? To trade away Logan Mankins for Tim Wright? Do you have it that way in a draft pick? Don't seem like it to me. And that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Patriot way. And at some point, I thought that this would finally catch up with him. And it's catching up with him. You can't do business like you used to, man. You can't operate under the Patriot way like you used to. It's catching up with him. And now this offensive line isn't protecting. You let LeGarrette Blount leave in free agency. Your running game doesn't look anywhere near the way it looked last year. The Patriot way is it's starting to catch up with you. And now, teams looking you right in your face. Even the Raiders step to you. When did the Raiders step to the Patriots, man? Step in your face. Like, hey, I'm not afraid of you, man. Like the Patriots right now, they're that invisible bully now. They used to be a visible bully. You see them coming, you move out the way. Hey, it's all yours, man. Now, they're the invisible. Nobody's afraid of them, man. Nobody's afraid of these dudes, man. And now that the bully's being slapped in the face, I saw that look on Tom Brady's face, man. And that was the look of, man, we in trouble. I don't know if we can fix this. Now, I said all of that to say this, and I'm gonna talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me to the victors go the spoils. I don't want to sit here and talk about the Patriots the whole time. I'm gonna talk about the Chiefs in a second, but let me say this. Then we're gonna move on. The Patriots could fix this. I mean, we could be making a lot out of nothing. I don't think we are. I've been talking about this for the last 2 years, so I don't think that this is nothing. But I mean, Brandon LaFell could start to grab hold of this offense and turn out to be a really good pickup for him. Julian Edelman is a beast. I love Julian Edelman. I love all the things. And that's why I said he couldn't leave. And they tried to let him leave. I mean, just imagine if someone would have gave Julian Edelman a deal in free agency. The Patriots would have let this man walk away, and that's the Patriot way. They would have let this man leave, and he's the one guy holding this thing together. Special teams-wise, receiver-wise, he's the one guy you can count on week in, week out. Gronk can get healthy. I mean, you see flashes from Gronk, but the question I have for him is, will he ever be the same? Will he ever be the guy that burst onto the NFL landscape with all these injuries, or is he just going to be another guy? I don't know if he'll ever be back, but if he comes back healthy and starts to wreak havoc on the league again, LaFell starts to get a hold of this offense, Edelman is doing his thing. If Danny Amendola actually shows up and is worth the money, he could be Wes Welker right now. That could be Wes Welker still, because Wes is still playing at a high level. It's not. It's Danny Amendola. He's invisible every game, it seems like. And so your running game is really non-existent right now. You're not getting anything out of it. And some of that could be attributed to the offensive line, but you still need guys to make people miss and make things happen. You don't have a back like that right now. How's that James White pick working out for you? Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know what else to say about the Patriots. The defense, Darrelle Revis, who's afraid of him? I mean, who's not going to that island and staying there? Somebody told me, I think it was the chosen one told me, or the one chosen told me, that's a resort, man. Cats stay there all the time. It seems like it to me, man. I can book reservations there right now. Put me down. I can book some reservations there right now because I see guys catching footballs on him every week. So, you paying that guy what? $16 million this year? I don't know how much you paying that guy. I mean, he's robbing you right now blind. But you're getting Browner back off that suspension. Maybe he helps. Look, I don't know. Maybe this thing comes together. Maybe it doesn't. I'm just saying, you look lost right now. And I don't feel bad for you because you made this bed. Now you got to lie in it. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm tired of talking about the Patriots. Let's talk about the team that actually won this game. Let me give them some respect because I've been disrespecting the Chiefs all offseason. I didn't like their offseason. I didn't like the fact that they lost so many players. You know, no more Dexter McCluster. Black Mamba looked like he was going to burst onto the scene and he gets hurt. And he's one of those guys that he's small, so he can get hurt. And he might be oft hurt. So I'm always a big proponent of keeping stuff that is a known commodity. And Dexter McCluster, for me, is a known commodity. You know what he's going to do. So I understand, though, you didn't want to pay him the type of money he was looking for. He got his bread. You had to let him walk away. But you lost all these offensive linemen. And I know all of them weren't starters per se, but it doesn't matter. I just felt like there was too much change in Kansas City, not enough stability, and I looked around and I said, Jamal Charles can't do that again. He can't possibly hold up for 16 games being used the way he was used last year. I mean, guy led you in receiving yards, catches, rushing yards, everything. He can't do that again. That's how I felt. So I said, there's no way that, and you had a last place schedule last year, so I felt like, Chiefs are going to be bad this year. No way they're going to be good. And then you come out of the gate, and I predicted you to lose to Tennessee, and you did. So I said, yeah, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. These guys aren't going to be good. And so after you lost that game, and then you showed up. No Debo in week one. I think everybody forgot. I know I did. Forgot about Debo being suspended for a game because the offense looked anemic. And it's funny, I hear Chiefs fans all the time talk about Dwayne Bowe and how they're ready to get rid of him. They're paying him too much money. Look, maybe you are paying him too much money. Look, I'm all about players getting their bread. So you won't ever hear me say a guy's overpaid unless he's really underperforming his contract. And is he a guy that's going to have 102 catches for, 1,422 yards? No, not in the offense that he's in with Alex Smith, captain checkdown. And no, that's not happening. But for what you do and for what you ask him to do, and sure, yeah, he drops the football sometimes. Yes, I know. I understand. I know how the game is played. I know what he's doing out there. But for your offense, he's one of the key cogs because without him, there's no go-to receiver. You take him out of the mix, you don't have a number one receiver. You want to know what this team looks like without him on offense? Go look at week one. Yeah, I know Jamal Charles didn't have that many carries against Tennessee. I don't know if he was dealing with an injury that day or not. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you take Dwayne Bowe out of the mix, you're throwing the ball to Frankie Hammond Jr. and Donnie Avery. Good luck with that, man. Sprinkle in a little bit of Junior Hemingway, too. Good luck with that. See if you scare anybody with one of those guys. Because you're not scaring me. That's for sure. So, to have him back in week 2, this team looked different against Denver. Damn near scared the hell out of the Denver Broncos. Gave them a run for their money at their place. Impressive. Hey, no moral victories in this league, I know, but hey, look, I didn't expect you to hang in the way you did. It was family business, so, you know, you throw all that stuff out the window. All right, okay, so I said, that was family business. Maybe they're not as bad as I said they are, but they're still not a good football team. Then you go on the road to Miami and destroy it, 34-15, and I said, wow, that was impressive. Can you do that again? Do it again. I double dog dare you to do that again. Now you're getting a real test at home. You want to beat up on the little sisters of the poor in the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins? Cool. And what was impressive? That was in their place. You went in their house. You ate their food. You were disrespecting their rug and their carpet. You didn't take your shoes off. You went in the fridge. You took out all the beverages that you want, and then you took the remote and got comfortable in the living room, and you didn't even use a coaster. How dare you? Disrespectful. So then you go home. I said, do it again. I double dog dare you to do it again. This time, you playing a big boy in that division. No little sisters of the poor. You got the Patriots at your crib, primetime television. Do it again. They said, oh yeah? Not only am I going to take you up on that dare, I'm going to double down on your dare, and I raise you an ass whooping. Enough said. I told them to do it. If you want my respect, respect is not given. It is earned. You want my respect, go out and thrash these boys. And I wasn't even looking for a thrashing, or as my professor used to say, a sound thrashing. I wasn't even looking for that. I was just looking for a win. Those boys said, I'm going to up the ante, man. I'm going to beat these boys down. Okay. You got my respect, Kansas City. Let's see what you do with it now. You got my respect. This is not what I thought it was going to be. You know, I said, Justin Houston, Tom Bahali and company, you lose Derek Anderson, you lose Derek Johnson in the first game. You lose one of your offensive linemen for the season. I said, yeah, this is going downhill fast. Hey, you guys have stood up to the challenge, man. I got nothing but respect for the Chiefs right now. And this was a big win. I'm going to be checking for you now. I'm going to be checking for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to be checking for you now. Don't disappoint me, man. Don't disappoint me. Don't wait until I start checking for you to start making a mockery of my picks. All right? That was a big win. That looked like the Kansas City Chiefs team of last season. The one that, and last year you had trouble scoring. This year, I think you might actually have more balance offensively because now Davis has a bigger role on this team. You don't have to just count on Jamal Charles anymore. Jake Charles can still get you. You just saw that. This passing game, I love Travis Kelce, man. I think he makes the world of difference now. You know, you've been, ever since Tony Moyaki gave you that one glimmer of hope, and then he went away, you've been searching for a difference maker at tight end. You might have found your Rob Gronkowski, man. That kid looks special. He looks special. And we saw it in the preseason. I didn't know if it was going to carry over to the regular season. It has. So, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Let's see if you can carry this. Can you ride this wave that you're on right now? Can you ride it and get hot and do some things in the AFC? The AFC is wide open. The AFC is wide open. Can you do some things? We're going to see, man. I'm checking for you now. Kansas City Chiefs. I'm checking for you. Big win. As we wrap up the Monday Night Showcase. 41-14. Beat that. Kansas City Chiefs style. So, they're now 2-2 on the season. So are the New England Patriots. Two teams going in totally opposite directions. Chiefs playing their best football of the season. Hey, a lot of questions right now swirling in New England. We'll see how they answer it. They got a big matchup, Sunday Night Football at home, Cincinnati Bengals. 3-0 Cincinnati Bengals coming off of a bye. That could be trouble for the New England Patriots. Or that could be redemption. We will see. So, we'll take a quick break, come back, wrap this thing on up.
Is your team hot or cold? Is your team trending up or down? Is your team flying below the radar or a visible force on the grid? Whatever the case, we'll do our own NFL power ranking here in the lab room. It's the NFL Power Grid, coming soon here in the lab room.
So I'm pretty sure, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go for two. I'm gonna go for two real quick, and I'm gonna make this real brief. You saw the young boys balling out of control in week number 4. I was happy to see that, man. My heart was warmed. I was like a proud papa whose son finally made it, man. I mean, to watch Teddy do what he did against the Atlanta Falcons, to see Blake B go out and have the first half performance that he had. Again, you're going to have these ups, these downs, these struggles with these teams and these quarterbacks. But Blake B was 13 of 15 for a $144 and a score. I mean, the man was doing his thing in the first half against the Chargers on the road. And we know what Tedo did. All he did was put up, 300 yards passing, scored a rushing touchdown, ran the football effectively. All he did was lead his team to a 41-28 victory. That's all he did. So in his first career start, he did injure himself. Don't know if he's going to play on Thursday night. Right now, just enjoy the win, man. Enjoy the win. These boys look sharp, man. And now the only one to not get on the field out of the quartet that was drafted in the first round is, of course, Johnny Football. And if Billy Ho continues to steal the show in Cleveland, he won't see the field. So good luck with that one, man. But I think the world of these young boys, and I thought this was going to be a crop of quarterbacks that could do some things. And you know what? It was only 3 guys drafted in the first round. I take that back. I always lumped Derek Carr in there because I thought that he would be one of the guys. I honestly think he's the third best out of this group. I always thought that Johnny was, he was a firecracker, a guy that would, spark some interest, but I didn't think he was a credible quarterback. So I know some of you like him, want to see him play. I just think he's a lot of hype, man. He's a guy that can run around, maybe make some plays, but he's going to make a lot of mistakes. More mistakes than big plays. But good to see the young boys get out there, get their feet wet, and have fun, play, make their teams better. I told you the one position that can improve the entire team is the quarterback position, because quarterback can make everybody better, and you saw that in Minnesota. You see Ted go in there, and all of a sudden the Vikings are scoring 41 points. This was a team that could only muster 9 the week before. So it just goes to show you, man, hey, anything can happen in the National Football League. And one last thing, and then we're out of here. Dennis Allen gets canned in Oakland, man, and it's funny because I saw this one coming, and I got a buddy of mine, man, huge Oakland Raiders fan, man. I mean, we talk Raiders football all the time. And he said the reason we retained Tony Sparano in the offseason was for this reason right here. That's what he told me. He said we kept Tony Sparano because if Dennis Allen doesn't work out before the bye week, he's gone. He's gone, and Tony Sparano is going to be the interim head coach. And what happened? Dennis Allen got canned, things didn't work out, and Tony Sparano is the interim head coach. For right now, that guy has been a soothsayer of the Oakland Raiders. Everything that he said has come to fruition, except the fact, and of course, he was optimistic when the season started. He thought they could beat the Houston Texans. He thought they were going to beat the Dolphins. He didn't expect them to be at this point where they are now, but he said, if we are, this is what's going to happen, and that's how it happened. And so now you're hearing all these rumors about John Gruden coming back to Oakland, and I told him like this. He said, Mark Davis wants a big-name head coach, and he should. He should. But I'm telling you right now, he's not getting John Gruden. And look, if it does happen, it'll be in the offseason. It's not happening anytime soon, you know. But the way I see it, John Gruden, to pry him away from ESPN, man, do you know what it's going to take? It's going to take for you to give him he's going to have to be part owner of your team. Part owner of your team, and you're going to have to pay this man one of the most luxurious contracts, lucrative contracts we've ever seen a head coach receive in the National Football League. I mean, he's a rock star at ESPN, man. He's loving it. And the thing about it is, he gets to do everything that he loves. Of course, he still has the itch to coach. That itch never goes away. Never goes away. But I tell you another thing, he doesn't miss the grind of having to stay up at the facility late nights, having this be a 12-month, round-the-clock job, not spending a lot of time with his family. He doesn't miss that. It's so much easier to call the game, study for the game, and go home to your wife and your kids. It's so much easier to actually have a life. And he gets the best of both worlds at ESPN. He gets to stay around the game that he loves so much, that he has been a part of since he was a kid. He gets to stay around that atmosphere. He gets to interact with the players, the coaches. He gets to do all of the stuff that he did as a head coach without 2/3 of the headache. What more you want? And he's being paid handsomely. And he's getting a nice grip. So why would I leave this, man? This is a comfy, cozy desk job. I'm not leaving that to go back to the rigors and strains of being an NFL head coach unless you give me everything. I want it all, man. I want it all. I want GM power. I want to be able to handpick every single personnel and staff member. I'm picking all the groceries. I'm cooking the meal. I'm writing the list. Everything, man. This dude would be in control of, and you can't do that, man. We've seen it. Times you can't give a coach that kind of power. It never works. So I don't see John Gruden coming back, but there are some names out there that you might need to throw around, man. I'm not saying, I didn't say this, and I know this is blasphemy for Raiders fans, but hear me out, man. Hey, Mike Shanahan's out there, man. Mike Shanahan's out there. Hey, look, I know, but Al isn't there anymore, man. Al isn't there anymore. Hey, and I'm telling Mike, hey, look, don't hold grudges, man. I know you've held a hell of a grudge. Don't hold grudges, man. It might not be any more work out there for you. This might be your spot right here, man. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, look, somebody out there with a track record needs to go to Oakland. And the Raiders need to find that guy that's willing to come out there and try to help turn this program around. I don't know who it is. They got to do something, though. And it can't be one of these hot coordinators. It can't be one of these college guys. It needs to be a head coach that's been in this league, that's won before. They need one of those guys. They don't need Chip Kelly. They don't need an innovative hot college football coach. They don't need the hot assistant. It'd be nice to get a Greg Roman or one of these guys. But you need somebody that's done this before, that has winning pedigree, that can say, hey, look, man, I've done this, I've done that. And if you want to win, let me show you the way. Let me show you the blueprint for winning, for success. They need that. They need it in the worst way in Oakland. And so we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for the Tuesday installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. Come back and join me tomorrow as we go pats, daps, and smacks on the program tomorrow, as well as the Soul Survivor for week number 5. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
In the Lab.